follow you dey go. This year, good news, giant plenty money. But they follow you dey go. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa, you too sure, you don't fit for your man. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa, you too sure, you fit for your.
What's good? What's good? What's good, guys? What is good? What is good? What is good, guys? We're gonna go ahead and get this party popping. Feeling good, feeling great. If you can hear me, drop something that made you feel good today in the chat. Say something nice. But yeah, man, we are live. We are live for the market outlook. Today is March 4th, 2024. And, we've clearly just came into the beginning of a new month. Looking forward to that, right? So, of course, knowing at the beginning of a new month, also the last month of the first quarter of the year, we do know with that first week of every month, we're going to expect non-farm payroll and unemployment numbers. So those are going to be dropping on Friday morning. If I can be out of the markets before that, then it's a good week, right? If I can be profitable and done trading before that, then it's a good week. But sometimes we do end up in the markets a little bit later in the week. But I know just for myself that my least profitable weeks of the year are usually the first week of the month. So I'm a less aggressive this first week, but we still taking our shots, right? Today was Monday, didn't have any high impact news events, and we saw that play out in the charts. It was a lot of choppiness today, Monday, and like we said, no high impact news events. Tomorrow we do have 9:45 and 10 a.m. news, which is great, given we are trading in the indices market, in the futures market. Whenever there's those 9:45, 10 a.m. news events, that's great because it comes right after that 9:30 opening bell, and it usually brings a lot of volatility into the markets for us to take advantage of, right? So definitely looking forward to tomorrow, and then we'll have some light news events, some speakers in the afternoon. Going into Wednesday, of course, we're going to have that ADP non-farm, so it's kind of like a prediction of the non-farm payroll. Dropping at 8:15. Then we'll have Powell actually speaking this 10 a.m. So, oftentimes when Powell speaks, there's a lot of consolidation prior to his speech in the market. So we wouldn't be surprised if we were dealing with any of that, right? And then 10 a.m. some jolt job openings. We'll also have 1 p.m. news 1 p.m. news. And some medium impact 2 p.m. news as well on what is that, Wednesday we're talking of. And then Thursday, we'll have the main event for Thursday is going to be initial jobless claims, right? And then we have a couple other news events, 8:30 a.m. And then we have Powell speaking again at 10 a.m. On Thursday. So it's going to be an interesting week. Then, of course, as we know, we'll have non-farm payroll and unemployment numbers here on Friday. Okay, so we'll have to be vigilant this week. Like I said, anytime you got non-farm, and then on top of that, we got Chairman Powell speaking this weekend. That can cause a lot of indecision in the market, or it can bring a lot of volatility. All right, so we're gonna have to be ready for whatever way that's going to affect our trading week. All right, now for me, I've been saying for a while, since we have been seeing this bullish uptake here on dollar. All right, we saw DXY trade down to these lows here on January, the beginning of this year. All right, and since then we've just seen the markets going bullish. All right, now this was the high of last year here in October, and then we have the low of last year that came in July. And so just looking at that range of last year, we wanted to see DXY get back up into a premium price, right? A price above 50% of that range is what we were expecting to see on DXY. And we saw that, right, coming into the beginning of this year. All right, now they've traded back into the premium side of this range, and they have found their way above these highs here of December. Okay, so you have these highs here of December, and that was our target that we were looking for here on the daily time frame, looking for them to come above those highs of December. And then if we go back out to the weekly, you know, we have this order block here we were looking to see price trade up to, and we were really targeting more so this entire low and open of that order block, right? We were looking to see them trade up to it, and we did get that, and then get a good amount of rejection from there, to the point where on this weekly time frame we actually have a bearish engulfing that formed during the month of February. All right, so that, you know, those are all confirmations that price is respecting the premium, right? The premium side of this range, and we're getting bearish movement coming in. So looking at this going into the rest of February, saw this as a breaker, right? Saw that as a key level. That last down candle here, purple candles are down for me, right? So that last down candle before we ran up to that order block, all right, has always been a key level, okay? And we saw them go ahead and break below that level here over the last 2 weeks. And then last week saw price action trade back up to that level, respect it, and then give us a bearish engulfing on the weekly as well as here on the daily time frame. All right, so seeing that, all right, here now, right, we have this bearish engulfing that came in here. We would expect price to respect that last up candle. All right, and then we saw here yesterday, Monday's price action traded up to that level, rejected away, keeping that bearish price action. So we would, you know, I'm expecting to continue to see bearish close days here until we get to the objective down at about 103.61, right, which is going to be the lows of about 2 weeks ago, last week. Yeah, but the lows of last week is going to be our first target. All right, overall on DXY though, I feel as though looking at this range now, the same way we looked at the range of 2023, looking at the range from this high of February down to this low here in December, that's the bullish range here, from reaching those lows and then came back to that objective. That is the range currently. I would expect to, again, to see price trade back down now to at least the 50% of this range, and then see us trade higher from there. So I'll pay attention to how price is responding at these lows, but I really do want to see price get down to that 50% before I make a decision as to whether DXY is truly going to reverse and continue to the downside, or whether I do expect to see them break out of this consolidation to the upside, right? So definitely going to be paying attention to that here on DXY. But for right now, based off current price action, even though it's a bit choppy, I do expect a bearish dollar, you know, on the week. Now, looking at the bonds market, overall was, you know, we saw on a monthly, right? We saw bonds reach a, you know, particular key level after running out lows, right? The lows that they ran out here, right? We were watching this all last year, okay, right? We saw them run out these lows here, right? They ran below the lows of 2022. They ran below the lows here of 2011. They ran below the lows of 2009, right? All the way over to the lows of 2007. No, we never made it down to the lows of 07, right? But they did run the lows of 08, 09, 11, right? So that's the lowest point we've seen them come to. And then we did go ahead and see them trade above and get back higher, leaving this imbalance here on the monthly time frame. All right, here. All right. So I've just been looking to see price trade back into that imbalance and then take us back higher. Okay, that's pretty much what I expect long term on the bonds market. And so we've been, you know, selling off. Didn't quite reach that. We didn't quite reach that level, but they did come down to a weekly They did come down to this weekly gap here, right? Volume imbalance. We did see them come down to that, right? Respect it, and then we're seeing bullish price action to the upside here on the weekly time frame. So now that we've closed above this candle, right? You know, giving us a bullish engulfing with these two candles, kind of leaves this as that last down order block into that key level. I'm gonna want to see, you know, how price is responding at this key level. And as we see on the weekly time frame, we dug down a bit, but it does look like we would want to go higher from here. All right, and I would be expecting at least to see them trade up into this daily imbalance, right? It's an imbalance on this side here, also was an imbalance here on the past. So definitely going to be wanting to see how price responds here at this level. But for right now, do expect them to hold this 4-hour order block. As I was explaining on the live session this morning, if you're not in our Discord, join our free Discord. You get access to our free live sessions, free introductory course, and a free private community, right? So with that being said, right, I said, hey, boom, we respected this fair value gap. We saw them leave this last down candle with a bullish engulfing here, took off, came down, respected that again, and now here we get that second bullish engulfing. We want to see the same thing we saw here, right? They respected that until we get to the target. All right, so I'm expecting for them to hold this level and then take us up here to this high. That's my thoughts on bonds. Now, clearly, you know, for those of y'all who are not familiar, bonds typically runs opposite to the dollar, right? And usually bonds the indices move in the direction of the bonds market. So given I only trade NASDAQ, I do use the bonds market kind of as my North Star in strength, right? Not necessarily direction, but strength, right? You know, when bonds has strength to the upside, I cater that as a +1 towards indices being bullish, right? When bonds has, you know, strength towards the bearish side, towards the downside, I count that as like +1 towards bearishness in indices, right? And, you know, as long as the opposite is happening on DXY, that's an extra confirmation. Okay, now going into Lady NASDAQ, you know, the one true one. she played with us a little bit today, ended up negative about 0.75%, but we are at all-time highs, all right? And it gets a little tricky trading these all-time highs, right? Now we do have here on the daily time frame, they did just go ahead and leave this daily fair value gap, right? So we do want to pay attention to how we are trading into this range here on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour, I've been telling the team I'm targeting this order block at the bottom of this liquidity void here on the 4-hour time frame, right? I want to see them go ahead and reclaim that. Now, that's perfect because just looking at the daily time frame, that's actually right. You know, we want to see price is digging down into this FVG. We want to see response at the halfway point and the worst case scenario at the low, right? But ideally, we don't want to see them trade past that halfway point and go ahead and take advantage of buying opportunities. And that halfway point on the 4-hour here, okay, on the 4-hour here, that halfway point is right at our 4-hour order block, that key level I'm looking to target. Worst case scenario, again, you know, at the low of that fair value gap, which is right inside that order block. So I'm going to be holding that sentiment going into the trading day and paying attention to any opportunities that reveal itself for buying from these levels. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put an alert here on the chart. For those levels. All right. So that's the higher time frame perspective here on NASDAQ going into the day. But clearly we see, boom, that was Monday. That was our weekly open. And we're trading below the weekly open right now, which is ideal. And we also know that we have March's open, which was here. Okay, so Anything under here is going to be very, 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 very good opportunities, right? But like I said, we want to at least see some reaction, hopefully, once we get into this level. But, see how much points is that just about on the 1 hour here. It's a lot of points, 40 points. We ain't going to be playing with that. But we gonna see once we come into it, right? The most important thing is going to be time at all times. It's always going to be the time that certain things are happening and that we're trading into specific levels. So yeah, that's what's going to be catching our attention. All right. So those are going to be the times that we are paying attention to. Have my key levels here. Be paying attention to this level here, and I'm going to be paying attention to those levels within these time periods, right? So that's what I'm looking at right there. All right, here on NASDAQ, this is what we're going to be looking for on the live session tomorrow. So like I said, if you are not able to access the live sessions, they are free. Just join our free Discord channel. Link is in our description or on our YouTube channel. You can join, get access to the free live streams, get access to the free mini course. I'm telling you, nobody is offering the type of value that we are offering for free. Okay, so that part. Other than that, I will take a look here at gold, who she has just been on a mission, right? Has literally been on a mission. The last 2 days has been absolutely crazy here on gold, to the upside. But I did talk about this, with the team on the live sessions last week, because this is not the chart I used, I believe. Yes, I believe it was this chart, right? Because we can see here. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Gold has just absolutely gone crazy. All right, so this was last week here. And last week, the beginning of the week started off a bit choppy, but then going into that Wednesday, once we saw price action break above here, that was pretty much where it was clear. I believe we were looking at this here on Tuesday, right? Tuesday, we were seeing the sell-offs. And I was just convinced that, look, I don't want to be looking for any sells on gold past 2030. All right. We did see gold drop down below the lows of the week here. Monday morning's lows, 2025. Then go ahead and give us a bullish engulfing here. Right. And then we saw price action trade above it, dangle around, and then take off here last Wednesday. Once they got above that level, would have been paying attention to the same, like this. I haven't moved this box since then, right? But that same box that I was looking to see them trade down to, we got a reaction there at noon, came down again, got another reaction there, but they did end up taking the entire lows. But then going into that next day, guess what? That same gap over here that I was looking at, all right, turns out to be the last up candle here before price sold off to these lows here, right? So that would become a key level once it got broken, and it got broken here, right? Price traded above that key level, came back. There was an entry opportunities here Wednesday morning, right? But it was pretty choppy on Wednesday. It was really Thursday again, drilled right back down once the news release came. Nasty buy opportunities here on gold. Not gonna lie to you, really, really, really good opportunities. I've just been, just made this transition over to futures. So just focusing on the futures market. I'm just focusing on the NASDAQ market at the moment. So I didn't touch gold last week. So we caught the NAS buys and a couple of sells. But this was a great buy opportunity here on gold. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm put an alert right here, 2080 on gold. We'll put that there for now. And for right now, I don't have a take on gold at the very moment. But this, really great price action. So yeah, man, that's going to be our outlook for this week. Getting a little bit better at keeping these short. That was a good 25 minutes. But that's what we're going to be looking for. And again, live session tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. You can catch us there and ask any questions you need, or we'll be trading this same analysis live. All right, so you guys have a wonderful week. See you guys next week. If you got value, if you like these, if you want more videos like these, you want me to do even more videos, leave subscribe on the video, and that really helps the channel. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, see you guys next week again, Monday at